All right, Florida Panther fans, as promised, fresh off his world tour of every NHL arena, first time in public since the Florida Panthers clinched the playoffs, the big dog himself, Randy Moller.
Hi, guys. How are you? Great to be
Oh,
on
man.
again.
Randy, you have no idea how many people. We had 130, 40 people on the live stream last night. Eric started a live stream once he knew we were going to clinch. And as soon as I mentioned that there was a possibility of you coming on, boom, 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 Randy.
Randy.
So you are extremely popular with our
Yes.
almost 6,200 subscribers.
Sorry, guys. I couldn't do it
Yeah.
last night.
No worries.
No, that's fine. So
anyway,
look, first thing out of the box, I just got to ask you.
All right.
I just want to know if you're having the same experience I am. Because up until it was 3-1 yesterday, my entire day yesterday, and it was fixing to be that way again today and probably all day tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, man. I was pretty crabby. I was pretty on edge, pretty nervous that this whole thing was going to come down to there's 20 seconds left against the Canes and either the season goes on or not. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, you know what? I was about the same way too. I was like, oh no, is this going to go down to the last game against Carolina? And they've got something to play for as well, trying to, ward off the New Jersey Devils for the top spot in their division, and they'll be fired up. They'd lost 3 games in a row and all that kind of stuff, or maybe possibly 4 games in a row. They end up winning last night. They played very, very well. But I thought the same thing, guys. I thought, oh no. Then, and then it comes down to a 1 game. And although it's very exciting, it's very stressful. Very stressful.
Yes.
I am so glad that, and Goldie and I were talking about it today, that so glad that we can just have a nice broadcast tomorrow, get all set up, get everybody set up for the playoffs. We'll probably know who we're playing. Don't know when we'll start, but we'll see. I really do think that we're going to we'll start probably on the Monday, the 17th. And the reason for that is we have to start on the road, and our building has a concert scheduled for next Saturday night. So that means that we've got to do Monday, Wednesday on the road, then Friday, Sunday at home. That's what I'm thinking. But then again, guys, don't take that as gospel, because I don't know. I don't know syrup from Cheyenne. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I know Stu's got a couple questions. Sure, I got one question from a listener from last night, and it dovetails in perfectly. It's from Daryl. And just talk a little bit about, in your opinion, the difference between last year's team and where they were heading into the playoffs versus what you think about this year's team.
Well, obviously if you take a look, if you look at the stats and that, obviously we were a much more offensive team last year, and the goals and the amount of goals that we were scoring per game. I really thought, guys, and I pose it into a question. I really was very happy the way, even though we didn't broadcast the game against Toronto. I thought that we were really tramping, skating, moving our feet, keeping the gaps real close with the Toronto Star players. We were on top of them. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of hurrying them up, forcing them to make ill-advised passes. That's how we have to play in the playoffs. Every shift where everybody's going and we're putting the puck in the open areas and then getting into foot races and then getting into battles. And I was very impressed the way the Panthers played against the Maple Leafs. And we had our chances. What the team had over 50 shots, and Lomberg with a couple of breakaways, and so I was very happy the way we played. So to answer the question, this is a different team. It's a different style. Not a lot. I don't think a wholesale changes in that, but we still have that top end talent. And Barkov's really hitting his stride now, and Reinhart, and Verhaeghe, and of course Montour and Ekblad has played extremely well over these last 6-7 games, and really improved his play all around. And I like the way the battle, and it's overused sometimes, but you talk to Paul Maurice and the players, the way that they are competing every shift and not giving up on pucks and making sure that you're supporting your line mates, put yourself in a good position defensively. So then if you do get the puck, now you can counterattack, and we explode with that, with the puck going the other way. And that they need to play like that. And they're going to play low scoring games, and they got to show the patience and the confidence in each other. And they've shown that here down the stretch. That's the reason why they got into the playoffs. I mean, when you go, what are they, 6-1-1 in the last 8? So I mean, that's a pretty good record for them, and they should feel really good about themselves.
Okay, good. Stu?
I couldn't have said it better myself. We've been saying that they finally bought in to the system. I mean, it's been coming on for the last few months, but after that Toronto tirade changed, and Keith Kachuk's comments, that was the kick in the pants that they needed.
Yeah, I agree. And those things happen, I mean, Paul Maurice, I think, has been very patient with this team, and to maybe a fault a lot of times. But he's always been a big believer in this group. And he said it to us. He said it publicly as well. It takes a while to have that mentality of how they need to play to have not success, just winning 1 or 2 games, have sustained success, and how they play without sacrificing offense, without taking away the putting restraints on your top talent guys. You can still do that, but without the puck, you have to play a little differently and have a little different mindset. And I really think the Panthers now have grasped that. And I think they realized too, let's include that game against Toronto the other night. I think they realized, hey, we can play this way. We can have success and that, but it's going to take hard work. Hopefully that's going to continue.
Listen, so, I agree. I thought I won't say dominated, but I think we took a lot of the play to them. And you're right. We obviously had our chances with the Lundberg breakaways, and Duclair had one and whatnot. Lyon played fantastic. I think the only reason we lost that game, and I've said it on the last video or so, was there was that stuff going on in the offensive zone, and somehow the puck got loose, and I think Kachuk was the follow-up guy against Tavares, and he just ran it. I mean, Tavares found some extra gas in his tank and hit the accelerator, and that was it. Other than that, it was a great overtime.
Yeah, no, and those things happen. I mean, they happen, and I like the mentality. Like you talk about that last shift, where Kachuk and company, whoever's on that ice, that they were going for it. We're not just going to hang on to the puck here and try our luck in a shootout. We're going to try and win this game in overtime, and I love that mentality. Go for it, and you take a look, guys, how and why the Panthers are in the playoffs. You go back to January 2nd. They lost, remember, on the 1st to the Rangers. We were 3 games under 500?
Yeah.
And
that sounds not right.
Just drifting, and it was not a good feeling. And I agree, and I share the frustrations of the fans and that where are we? Where are we going? What are we doing? And that those questions it popped up in all of our minds. And that
we were calling for Maurice to get out and Ekblad to get traded.
I know, and that's human nature and that, but the way that they have come, and even when they went through that terrible, terrible schedule where they played all those road games and then come home for one and then leave the next day for another 3 or 4 game road trip. I've never seen anything like it. And then the
Yeah.
other thing too, and we're not getting into excuses. I just speak in realities here. This team, I've been broadcasting for 27 years. I have never, ever had a season where the team, the Panthers, spent the whole month of March at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for one
Right.
game that was over in Tampa, which is a 28-minute flight. I'd
Yep.
never seen that before.
Me either.
But why I'm bringing that up is it's very easy for professional athletes, because I've been through it, where you get, oh, okay, we're going to be home for 30 days. We're going to be home. Oh, let's just relax. And, oh, yeah. Go ahead, honey. Invite your cousin and your uncle and aunt to come down. We'll go shop and I'll take them golfing. We're going to, you start making all these plans, right?
Right.
And subconsciously, it takes the edge off.
Mhm.
And that's why the way normal schedules are set up, where you're at home for a few games and you go on the road for a few games. You're at home, you go back and forth. It keeps you sharp, and that was tough on me being home for a month and that. So they got through all of that, and they got through a lot of adversity, and the injuries to Barkov, the injuries to Lundell, the injuries to Bob, the whole situation with Spencer Knight, and that, and that's why when Paul Maurice talks about it, it is very true. We've come out the other side, and we're in pretty good shape. And he believed in the team, even when they stubbed their toe after they won, 8 of 10, and then lost 4 straight. And it was like, oh
no.
And now we're going, remember that we lost the game in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Going into Toronto. Oh, we don't know who our goaltender is. It's like, oh no, this could unravel very quickly. But the leadership of this team, led by Paul Maurice, and I talk to him. I talk to him all the time. That's outside of when he talks to the press.
Right.
And his demeanor, his positiveness, he said, we're going to be okay. We're coming. We're going to be okay. And he's proven that. And this team now, if they can stay healthy and stay on the rails the way that they have played of late, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And that's what it's all about. Guys, there's going to be hills and valleys.
Yeah.
And all that. And oh boy, did we have some hills and valleys this year, didn't we?
Oh, let me tell you. So I want to ask you a couple of specific questions. On the first one is Duclair. Now, as part of the question, I recognized at the beginning of the season, first 30, 40 games, there was a lot of times where Stu and I were recognizing that the forwards, they looked like they weren't playing right or well because they still hadn't grasped the system 100% in terms of just how hard they've got to come back every time. Yeah. So in your estimation, how much of Duke's current struggles, if you want to put that in quotation marks, is injury related, is simply he just needs to get lucky and then he'll be fine once he gets a goal? Or how much of it is him still getting comfortable in the system because that everybody else is finally caught up to?
Yeah, I think Eric, it's a combination of things, and you mentioned a number of them. And that injury that he suffered, that Achilles injury, is really, really tough. And for him to be out that long, and you always, as a professional athlete, you're always thinking, oh, just give me a few skates, I'll be back, I'll just dust it off, and I'm ready to go. It's not that easy. And for a player like Duclair, where his game is based, 90% of his game is based on speed and spurts of speed and the way that he can jump into holes and take the puck and that is tough. I think he's worked extremely hard. There's 2 ways that you can look at it. And I refuse to take the negative rate. Yeah, he hasn't had a goal in 17 games.
Right.
Okay. But he's doing other stuff that helps the team. The way I look at it and what I've talked about, I take the positive side is, oh boy, if he gets hot,
yes,
and oh boy, he could be the Carter Verhaeghe from last year against the Washington Capitals. That's the way I look at it. He's got it. He's got the ability and the mindset. I believe he's having a tough time right now, and I think it's wearing on him. He hasn't scored in 17 games, and the only goal that he has was an empty netter.
Yeah.
And that, but he's doing other things. He's working hard. He's playing well defensively, and that. So it might be a bonus, guys. It might be a bonus.
Yeah.
If catches fire like a Carter Verhaeghe in the first round last year, oh boy, hang on to your hairnet because it's going to be a lot of fun. That's the way I look at it.
I agree there. The other specific question I have, and then I'll if Stu has any other questions, we certainly just want to get your opinion. And I know you can't get too in depth because I think the only one that even knows the answer to this question, even a little bit, is Paul Maurice. But I think I can speak for most of the fan base when we're just all saying, look, at this point, Alex Lyon is your game one starter. I know you can't speak exactly to that, but just all I'm going to say, and I'll leave it to you, is Bennington did it and Murray did it, where goalies came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yep.
And before teams could figure them out, they had a cup.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say about that is Alex Lyons has deserved to have the net. He has played extremely well, continues to play extremely well. But you've got a very talented goaltender in Bobrovsky as well. I don't want to take the easy way out with my answer, guys, and say, well, it's going to take two goaltenders to win and blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to hear that. I really don't know. But I will tell you that they have the utmost confidence in Alex Lyon.
Absolutely.
A lot of hockey from continuing from today all the way through. They have that confidence in him. So that bodes well. Yeah. But I don't know what the plan is. You know what? We'll find out tomorrow. I mean, do you play Alex Lyon tomorrow? Or do you rest him? Do you play Bob tomorrow? Do you?
No.
Those questions. We'll find out tomorrow. And I'm comfortable with either way. It would be nice though, guys, to get Bob into a game. He hasn't played in a while, so it would be. I think he's close to 100% now. He got a really bad. Sickness and that it really took we were told it took a lot out of him, and it took a lot out of Lundell as well when he got it non-COVID, but Barkov had it as well.
Barkov had it,
If he had what I had, which was that upper respiratory thing, and I got it twice, and I was like, dead for a couple of weeks.
It's pretty nasty. So, but I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with either goaltender. But Alex Lyon it's been a great story, and that. But I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if I could tell you. But I'm being honest, guys. I don't know.
Maurice George wrote something today. Maurice is not spilling the beans.
Here's
my
take.
Here's my take.
They'll wait and see tomorrow, and then even after tomorrow's game, they'll have a couple 3 days before the playoffs start, and that. I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity for the team and whoever they play. That's the thing is it's just tough on me. I'm sitting here and I got all my notes all over the place. We don't know who we're playing. We don't know where we're playing, and
that's why tomorrow night's important. Because we win that game, we get the 7th seed, and then it's either the Hurricane. I don't want to play the Bruins as much as I think we go toe-to-toe, and we won 2 out of 3 from them this year. They just set the all-time record. I don't want to go against the Bruins, all right? I'd rather go – I think Eric and I are in agreement. We both think we'd do good against New Jersey, but the Canes haven't been playing that good either.
You know what? it really doesn't matter to me. I'm not of the opinion of, oh God, we can't play them. Oh, gee,
Right.
or we can't. Oh, I'd love to play.
I'm not saying that.
Doesn't really matter to
I'm
me.
not saying that. I don't think we're fearing any team. However, the Bruins just seem to have it. I don't mind. I don't mind taking them on in the second round.
But and that talking specifically about the Bruins, they had that one stretch where, remember, the Panthers beat them at home, and remember they only had like 2 wins out of 5 in there or whatever. Well, that was their slump for the year.
Yeah.
And then they took off again and won 16 out of 17 games or whatever. Oh my God. Yeah, they're a juggernaut. They are, no doubt. They are, even though Edmonton has really shown that they're a beast out in the West, the Oilers, because of McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, the Bruins are still the number 1 team. They are loaded. There is no weaknesses in that team, but we will discuss that, and I'll come on with you guys before we drop the puck in the before the playoffs, and we'll
great.
And we'll go through and we'll dissect the team that we're going to play. I'll tell you what I think their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and that. But I think the Panthers, the way that they're playing now and the way that they're built, and that they can feel confident that whoever they play. The other question though is the Sam Bennett that storyline. Whether it'd be nice to get him back. He's such a impact player, and that he's having trouble with that lower body injury and that. But hopefully these next, if the team doesn't play in the playoffs and for another 6 days or whatever, that's enough time. But we'll knock on wood for that. But if he doesn't play, if he's not ready to play at the start of the series, whatever, Panthers have proven that they can beat anybody with the lineup that they have. So I'm confident with that.
Yep, absolutely.
We could end it with that.
Yeah, just last thing real quick, because I get asked this all the time. I'm going to assume from the lack of any other activity that Patrick Hornquist is pretty much not coming back.
I don't know.
Right.
No, he is around the team. He's on the ice a lot of the time. He's working with the guys that are, rehabbing, and he's out there shooting before practice against the goaltenders. And
right.
That's such a great asset for the team.
I know that
is such a breath of fresh air. He's always got a smile on his face. He wants to work. He wants to be a part of it. I don't know what they'll do, whether he'll be activated. I'm just like you guys. I guess we'll cross that bridge or after tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, right.
And then the couple of days of practice, what the plan is for Patrick Hornquist. But I don't know. I have nobody to see what.
Yeah, that's the one name that I get the most questions about is when's Horny coming back? It's Hornquist, because everybody loves the guy, and you kind of
such a great leader that I think they really want him to be around the team and be around the guys and travel and be at practice and be in the meetings, and that he's such a positive influence, and that I really like that he's around a lot, and that he's a good leader.
Okay. All right, Randy Moller, I really appreciate you doing this for us, man. Taking time out of your day, genuinely. So if we can touch base again before we drop the puck on the playoffs, that would be outstanding.
Yeah,
really,
we'll absolutely do it, because we'll have lots to discuss.
Yeah,
who the Panthers are playing and the matchups and the
who we're bringing up.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, who we're bringing up and all that.
But we could save it for the next.
Yeah, we'll save that for then. Yep.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, all right.
Thanks, and Panther fans, keep the faith. Love you. And as I tweeted out last night, playoffs.
Wait. Last thing.
Yes.
Did you like my tweet to Ruppert? It was Mike Rupp and Torchetti, and all they were talking
I have
about,
to put a leash on Stu.
Okay.
Stu still hasn't quite got the idea. He's not real tactful. Like, if you want these guys to come on the show, you can't just call them out publicly and asking for an apology. You got to be nice about it.
Hey, you know what? Guys are paid for their opinion, and that I respect that. As long as they're respectable with their comments, and that I have no problem. And that,
I felt they were disrespectful because they didn't even mention the Panthers. All they were talking about was Sid and Gino and this and the Islanders.
Anytime
they do that, they do that, Stu, because they know that you're watching and they know that it's going to grind you. They do it. They do it because of you, Stu.
He does. Look, every morning, if he's watched the highlights and they haven't talked about the Panthers, he takes it personal. Like it's his. It's on my TV, so they must be doing it just for me.
See you guys.
All right, Randy. Thanks, brother.
See you later.